Hello and welcome to the There Be Dragons video, and this is what we will be making today. So inside your box you should have a container of Mod Podge, a sponge brush, a piece of wax paper, some white tissue paper, and 3 strands of floral wire. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the frame for your dragonfly. So the first step is to take 1 strand of the wire, and you're going to fold it in half, just like that. And then about 1 inch down, you're going to pinch, and then you're going to twist. And you're going to twist all the way down to the end. Just keep so you get one straight line. Alright. Now, when you get to the end, it's a bit pokey, so I like to just do a small fold up, like that, and then you're just going to twist the ends together again. See the little loop on the end. Then on this side, all you're going to do is bend the wire until you get more of a circle than a loop. It just takes a little adjustment. And that's about right. Okay, so we're going to set that piece aside, but that's our head and our body. Alright, then we're going to take 1 more strand, and this time we're going to turn this strand into an O, and then you're just going to twist the ends together, just like that. Okay, then you're going to bring the 2 sides of the circle together, and you're going to twist. And then you'll probably need to adjust your wings a little bit so that they don't look crossed. Things like that. So it's almost like you have a bow tie. Alright, then we're going to do the same thing on the other piece of wire. So again, we're going to make the circle, twist the ends around each wire piece so you have an O. Okay, then you're going to take 2 opposite sides, bring them together, and you're going to twist in the center. Then you're going to adjust your wings. So we can use 1 more twist, it looks like. Alright, so now you have the 2 wing sets and the body. So you're going to put the 2 sets together. Just like that. Then you're going to hold them to just below the head. Alright, then you're going to take the tail, you're going to fold it up past the right of the head and down the back. You want to make sure you pull it as tight as you can. Alright, then you're going to do that same move, but this time go to the left of the head. So you're going to go up, over and to the left, and down. And that is how you attach the wings to the body. Then you just want to adjust the wings. And since we're making a dragonfly, we actually want them to be kind of thin. And so there is your wire frame. All right, the next step in the video is to color your tissue paper. Now, to save time, I have pre-colored my tissue paper. Now, when you color it, you can color it any way you want. I chose some geometric designs. And what you want to do is you just want to make sure that the section you color is at least as wide as your wings and as tall as from the bottom wing to the head. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your decoupage and your sponge, and you're going to put a light coat over one section of your tissue paper. And that's where you're going to press either one set of wings, or you can do the head, depending on what you want to do first. I recommend doing the wings first. So then all we're doing is just pushing the wire into the gluey tissue paper. And then you're just going to brush a second layer on top of the wire and the tissue paper. All right. Then I would recommend waiting 10 minutes just to let that set. But for the video, I'm not going to. But I highly recommend that you do. All right. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to do that same step, but you're going to do it on the other side where the wings are. So it might require you to lift your wings a little bit. So if you have someone else to help you, that might be a time where you let them kind of lift things up. And just remember that whatever gets lifted up has to be bent back into shape. Make sure you cover all the tissue paper, and then you're going to push those wires into the decoupage. Now the reason you want to let it wait is you'll see that as I'm pushing this into this side, it's bringing this up, and as you can see, some of the wire is separating from the tissue paper. If you wait until it dries, it shouldn't do that. If it does, just push it back down and put another coat, a very thin coat of decoupage. Now you want to make sure you do thin coats because that will allow it to dry faster. You can put multiple coats on. I'm just going to do 2. Okay, and then you're going to, once you have that other set of wings done, you're going to wait 10 minutes. Let it dry. If it takes a little longer than 10, that's okay too, but it should be as long as the coat that the amount of decoupage you put on is thin. It should be about 10 minutes. And then of course you're going to do the head, where again you're going to have to lift it up a little bit, put the decoupage down, and then push your wire into place. And then put another layer. It's a little thick. You have to put your hand underneath it and bend it back so that it sits onto the glue. You can do that too. You just want to be careful because as you're getting the decoupage onto the tissue paper, it's making the tissue paper thin, so you don't want to rip it. So push it in, and then you're going to let that sit. Again, 10, maybe 20 minutes. Okay? Now, for the sake of the video, I have pre-done a dragonfly where the decoupage is all on one side. Okay, so once you've waited about 20 minutes or 10 minutes, what you're going to do is then, once you're sure that this side is relatively dry, you're actually going to flip this whole thing over. Okay, and you're going to put a layer or 2 layers of decoupage on the back. but you want to make sure that if you can see the wire, so you only want to put it where you see your wire. So on the head, the right side of the wings, and the left side of the wings. Okay, assuming you've only done a thin layer, you're going to let that set for 10 minutes, and then you're going to put a second coat on. So let's pretend 10 minutes has gone by, so you're going to again put a thin layer onto the back. Okay. Now, your next step is to let this dry. Okay, so you want to let it dry. My guess would be a couple of hours. Overnight might be best. Okay. But in the effort to save time, I have pre-made a dragonfly that has been decoupaged on the back and on the front. And you'll notice that on the back, after the decoupaging, you can really see the wires. Because the tissue paper has gotten thin, it's actually gotten a little bit harder too. So your next step is to take a pair of scissors from home, and what you're going to do is you're going to very carefully cut out your dragonfly. So you're going to try to cut as close to the wire as you can. Now, if while you're cutting, sections start to look like they're separating from the wire, that's okay. Just keep cutting, unless of course the whole thing falls off. Then you might want to stop and put another layer of the Mod Podge on. So this is the bit of a tricky part, because you want to get as close to the wire as you can. All right. So you're just gonna cut if you separate the big pieces, and then you only have to cut small pieces away from the wings. It makes it a little easier. So I'm just going to cut all this extra. Because also, if you cut all that extra off, that removes weight too, of when those paper pieces, when they start to pull. Just gonna keep cutting. And there's places where you can't quite get the scissors in, you can do a little bit of ripping. Just try not to rip. And there you go. There it is. Now you'll notice that there are, oh, looks like it's all fixed. Oh, there's a little section here. You can see where it's come away a little bit. Just lay that down on the wax paper and give it another coat of Mod Podge on one side and flip it over on the other, and that should reattach it to the wire. But there you go. That is how to make your There Be Dragons. Don't forget to fill out your Tell Us ticket and let us know what you think. And we hope that you enjoyed this. Thanks, bye.